May 10th, Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ray? Mr. Markgraf?
Here.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No. Approval of the minutes of April 19th and April 26th, 2018.
I recommend we approve the minutes for April 12th, 2018.
April 19th and April 26th.
Same.
And I concur. Correspondence. A, contract with Hawk Enterprises, Inc. for Colorado Avenue and Delaware Avenue, 169th Street to 165th Street, Nevada Avenue and New Jersey Avenue, 165th Street to 163rd Street, lighting improvements. Do I have a recommendation approving the contract for Hawk Enterprises?
I make a recommendation that we approve the contract for Hawk Enterprises.
And I concur. B, change order number 1 received from First Group Engineering, Inc. for the hybrid pedestrian crossing signals with cost to the city of $687.80 for quantity overruns. Is Mr. Button? Let's see, this is $6,878 on.
Yes, we had quantity overruns on asphalt. We had to do tie back the slopes of the approaches to the Hawk signals were too steep, and so we had to bring the grades further back to tie in, so it required additional cost.
And this is 80/20, correct?
It is 80/20 with the Department of Transportation.
Okay. Do I have a recommendation approving the change order?
I make a recommendation to approve the change order.
And I concur. C, correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at 2500 Michigan Street. This has been vetted by the engineering department, by Mark Gordish. So I have a recommendation approving AT&T's request.
I make that recommendation.
And I concur. D, correspondence received from Attorney David Westland advising his firm will be handling condemnation cases on behalf of the city. Is this, action need to be taken on this?
Defer to council. This relates to an ongoing condemnation of parcels for Chicago Street, and we had retained Attorney Westland to do this work throughout the condemnation proceedings of all properties along route.
Anything to add?
No.
Chris?
That'd be-
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a recommendation approving Mr. Button's request?
I make that recommendation.
And I concur. E, correspondence received from Councilman Mark Kelwinski requesting $93,545.33 of gaming funds be allocated to cover Hammond's share of the Atchison Avenue project with the city of Whiting.
That's an interlocal project we have where portion of the Atchison is actually in Hammond and the majority of it's in Whiting, so we're just working together to get it redone.
The request has been assigned by the councilman, assigned by the mayor. Do I have a recommendation approving such?
I recommend that we accept the councilman's correspondence.
And I concur. F, invoice received from the city of Whiting for the shared Atchison Avenue project. Is this just informational, Chris, for us?
That's our portion of the,
Okay.
of the project, and it hopefully corresponds with the councilman's amount?
It does.
Okay.
All right. Do we need action, or is that just informational?
Just for informational.
All right. G, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting approval of Adam Sellis and Joseph Drezik being appointed as probationer members of the Hammond Police Department to serve their one-year probationary period beginning May 3rd, 2018, and disposal authorizations.
I make a recommendation to accept Chief Doty's request.
And I'll concur. H, hearing on property located at 6637 Harrison Avenue.
Attorney Weigel.
Wyden?
The property owner's council is here and has spoke with Kelly Kearney in regards to the current situation at the property address. I believe the property owner has found a licensed contractor who's going to go through and make the necessary repairs to bring the property back to a single-family home. It is our request that based on the current condition and construction of the property, and due to the violations discovered currently constructed as a illegal non-conforming 3-unit property, due to this attic apartment having the inability to meet the ceiling height requirement of 7 feet, as well as egress issues to and from the second floor, doesn't have proper width. No permits were discovered during the permit history research performed on the property. Utilities as well do not line up to support a 3-unit structure, as well as supports and whatnot. So today we are asking that the board affirm the removal of the second floor and first floor rear apartment due to lack of permits, proper fire separation, and egress issues. Council.
Okay, well, Mr. Lazarian agrees that it should be 1 unit, and he's working towards a 1 unit. He has a contractor, has some issues. Apparently, has he met with, your contractor needs some guidance from code enforcement, so he knows exactly what needs to be done before he'll actually sign the contract. So he has contracts, so.
Yeah, that's fine. When we, express, I believe Kelly, spoke to them and explained, we're more than happy to sit down and go over, what we're looking for as far as, the conversion process. We're just asking that, to make it a matter of record, that the board affirms these apartments to be removed, and then we work with the owner to bring the property into compliance. In the event the property is sold prior to this occurring, we want to make sure that it is a matter of record, that any potential future owners are aware of what's required at this property, so we don't find ourselves going through the same thing again. So as our department's more than happy, we'll make time to sit down, have a meeting, go over everything that would be required to make sure everybody's on the same page, and we'll work with them as much time as they need to get it into compliance. We need to make sure it's affirmed in a matter of record prior to that happening.
Mr. Weigel?
No, I mean, that's basically what,
Yeah, I'm amenable to bring it back to one unit, understanding I called 5 contractors, were giving me names, where you guys met me, only one guy wrote a proposal. It's, guys are on vacation, they're working on their own projects. I called 4 electricians to bring back the meters. It's, and they're all extremely busy now. They don't even call back. One guy that originally pulled the permit to have the 3 meters in there, he just called me on my way over here. He said he's amenable. He's licensed in Hammond. So I want to work with the city. I'd prefer to meet specifically so we get down exactly, so we don't start one thing and then, okay, let's do this and let's do this, because even amongst talking with the contractor they did, there wasn't clarity, even one of the licensed contractors, of specifically what I need to do.
There's only 1 unit is occupied, correct?
I'm sorry?
Only 1 unit is occupied?
yes.
Only one unit is active.
So as
Yeah.
long as the other 2 units are vacant, we'll allow whatever time we need. We'll be glad to sit down and let you know what needs to be done. We'll be glad to sit down and let you know what needs to be
Okay.
done.
Yeah, I want to work with
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to make a recommendation, we affirm the order of the property located at 6637 Harrison.
And I'll concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. I, rental registration hearing on property located at 1240 175th Street.
State your name and address, please.
Well, my name is Deborah Geary. I live at 6308 Forest Avenue, Hammond, Indiana.
Okay, what we have here is 1 unit. We have it going back to Shields registration from 2014 to 2017. It is registered for 2018. We do have notes in here that she has let her niece stay here off and on. There's been no affidavits, and to sign an affidavit, you can't be a niece or a nephew. You can only be immediate family, grandparents, or aunt and uncles. So we're looking for registration from 2014 to 2017.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
So I didn't know about any rental registration. It never even occurred to me because we don't rent it. And the only reason I heard about it is because February, someone hit our garage, a hit and run. And so in order for it to be repaired or taken down by insurance, we had to get a permit. And when I went in to get the permit, they asked if I lived there, and I said, no, my niece lives there. And they said, oh, you have to register it as a rental, rental. And I said, oh, well, why does it have to be a rental if she's not she's not a tenant, I don't like collect rent or anything from her. That's what I thought rental meant. And they said, no, if you don't reside there yourself personally, then it has to be a rental. And I said, okay. And so I registered as a rental, and then they called me and said, you have to, how long have you had it? And I told them, and they said, well, you have to do a payment for all of those previous years. And then, I mean, it kind of, I just really realized, was notified of it. So then I said, well, she doesn't rent. And they said, well, you have to, whatever. No. They said you have to have it, the previous, no, I registered it that day, and they said, to wait, you owe this much for all of these previous years. And I was like, wait, what? And so they said to try to get it waived or something, you have to appear. So I'm here to appear.
What they told her was that she'd have to file a rental appeal form. That's why she's here.
Oh, yeah.
So did you receive any rent for those years?
No, it's my niece. She lived there before, and she told me that they were selling it. The management company was selling it, and she wanted to stay there, and she couldn't buy it. And she asked me, would I buy it? And I'm like, well, 'cause she knows that I could afford to buy it. It didn't cost that much. And I'm like, no problem. My niece, she stays there. She had a little girl. They moved from the south side of Chicago where it was horrible, and she was safer here. She could walk down the street to the school. It's just a lot of stuff that was going on for her to move, and the whole family's just happy she was living in a safer place. So we all agreed it was a good idea for her to stay there, but she couldn't afford to buy it, so she just stays there. I mean, her daughter graduated from the school. She's going to college. She's a freshman in college here in Indiana. I mean, the family's happy with her there. We just weren't aware of all of this because by saying rental registration, it just seems like she should be a tenant paying a lease or something. You know what I'm saying?
Who owns the home? You do?
Yeah.
So is there a homestead exemption on the home?
No, there isn't.
There is not.
And there's no proof that anybody else lived in there other than her niece, correct?
Correct. Is your niece Star? Mm-hmm. Yes. She's lived there since 2012.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation that we waive the fees from 2014 to 2017. Is that correct? Those are the years?
And I concur.
Thank you, but I got a question.
But-
So do I keep doing this? They said you got to do this every year.
I believe you have to fill out an affidavit, correct, alerting code enforcement to the fact that this is who lives there.
I'm sorry to interrupt, no, it wouldn't be an affidavit. A niece doesn't constitute immediate family. She'll have to register it every year. And so, that information is available to police officers and first responders. So having a registry, even though it's your niece, if that emergency arises, they know who they're contacting and who's there, so they can have.
Yeah, the sergeant who came out to do the report for the hit and run, when he explained, well, we need to know who for her safety. I like that. That makes sense to me. So I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to have to come. No, I don't mind the five. I mean, the $5 is nothing. Had I known, I'm like, oh, five. I mean, that's not breaking me. But I just didn't think it was fair that because I didn't. It doesn't. She's like it. Kind of like it seems like she should have another title or something. I don't know. But
So
I'm not
going
making
forward, you
rules.
guys are asking that she register as
So
the
keep
register for
doing it.
2015 I'm sorry, register for 2014 to 2017.
Right.
You guys want to waive the late fee, we're fine with that. As long as she registers for those years, as we said, she did register for 18, and continue every year between January and April to register this as a rental.
So maybe you understand that you have to pay $5 for those 4 years.
Yeah, they told me if I don't do it by April, then there's a late fee. But okay,
Okay, thank you.
I get it now, but I just didn't get it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
If you want to wait, she'll give you a card.
Oh, wait. Okay, so we'll just.
J, rental registration hearing on property located at 1539 Calumet.
Mr. Alvarez?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have this as 3 units, and he missed 2017. He did register every year previous, as well as 2018.
Yes, I didn't realize I forgot. When I came in, that's when they told me I didn't pay it, and I didn't. I forgot. I straight up forgot, and no excuse for that. But on December, the last week of December on my calendar, it's already written, don't forget registration. It won't happen again.
How many years prior had you paid?
Like 11 years prior. And I just happened to forget, I forgot that one. I thought I paid it, but I actually, when I came in, they said I didn't pay it, and I forgot.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to waive the late fee for 2017.
And I concur.
Okay, you just have to pay $5 for 2017, sir.
Thank you very much, I
15,
appreciate it.
15, sorry. Let me just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Okay, just sit down.
For 2015?
I mean, I think somebody said 17 to begin with. Is it 15 or 17?
No, it's for 17.
Okay. Okay, so it is for
Oh.
2017. I thought somebody said 15, okay.
I didn't hear the 3 units, I thought it was 1 unit.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, thank you.
K, rental registration hearing on property located at 1461 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Okay, same thing with this one. This is a 4 unit, and he missed 2017. Was registered prior as well as registered for 18.
So his previous history's good?
Yeah.
I've done it ever since day one, so getting old.
Just overlooked it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to waive the late fees for 2017.
Which you will need to, $5 times 4 for
For 17.
17, yes.
Okay.
I concur.
Wait until after, and she'll give you a card.
Thank you, sir.
Rental registration hearing on property located at 408 Conkey Street.
We have this under the owner, Kenneth Gary, under WM Land Trust. This is 1 unit and was not registered for 2016 or 17. As I said, it's under WM Land Trust out of Calumet City. It is not collecting a homestead.
Yes, hi, my name is Kenneth Gary. I purchased the property, expecting to live in the property, maybe 2015, and I didn't know I had to register at the rental. I was talking to another homeowner that owned a property, and they was telling me that you got to, register the property, and I didn't know, so I came in this year to register. Then they went back and said, "Oh, you got to do this one and that one." And when I tried to do it, they said you have to go to a hearing. So,
Mr. Gary did purchase the property in 2015, and it looks like you purchased it, decided to move somewhere else.
correct.
Rented it out for
Once I-
16
right,
and 17.
correct.
So we're looking for 1 unit for 16 and 17.
So when you originally purchased it, you were gonna live in it, but then at some point you decided to rent it, correct?
Correct, me and my daughter, right, was gonna live there at some point. I mean, I just decided I was gonna rent it, and I didn't know I had to register the property in order to rent it. If I knew that, I mean, yes, I would have rented, I would abide by the law, so.
Is there any issues with the property at all, Hammond? Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation to waive those 2 years. You have to pay $5 each year, and just please make sure it doesn't happen again, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Rental registration, oh. Rental registration hearing on property located at 6404 Tennessee.
Yeah, this is one unit and owes for 2017.
Okay, it was our first time renting the house, and we were under the mistaken impression that we would pay in April, and it was only just the last part of 2017, like December. So when we went in to pay it, that's when they told us, well, no, you'd have to pay for all of that. And it was just a miscommunication. Well, it was supposed to have been within 30 days, but we weren't unaware of that. We were fully intending on paying it.
No problems there. Okay, I'll make a recommendation to waive the fee for 2017.
Okay.
You just have to pay $5 for that year, sir.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you.
concur. This is a rental registration hearing. We're kind of unsure what the address is. Angelica Villarreal?
6710 New Hampshire. You want to hear for 6710 New Hampshire? Okay, we have Ms. Villarreal's address as 168 Carrington Circle in Valparaiso.
We don't, yeah, we sent this to the New Hampshire property and kicked back to us. We don't have another address.
There's no other address in there?
No.
We have a Valparaiso address. I don't know why we sent to New Hampshire. We've had the New Hampshire address for a couple of years. Hear this case, or?
Sure.
Okay. It's one unit, owes for 2015, 2016, and 2017. As I said before, it shows Ms. Villarreal living in Valparaiso. The house is not collecting a homestead. It did register for 2018.
So how does that happen? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to set this one over. I like this woman to be here to explain herself, due to the fact we're not sure what the address is. Well, you've got the Valparaiso address. We don't have that work here. So should we, all right, we're gonna set this one over for status to June 21st. Rental registration hearing on property located at 6337 Blaine Avenue.
Ganime? Okay, say your address.
This is Ganimi Nabil.
Mr. Nabil, I'm sorry, purchased this property last year. He did get a water connect in October of 17,
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
October 20th.
Okay, we show water being at 4,000 units from October to December of 17, which shows that someone was probably in there. That's per water. He does have, you have a tenant in there currently.
Yes, but it's,
And we have consumption of 5,000 units from February to April. So we're looking at one unit from For the end of 2017.
Yeah, from the end of 2017, I thought I did register it, but I forgot it was late 2017. And I mean, it was a mistake from me. I mean, it was the end of the year. At that time, I should have done it, but I forgot.
Somebody living there at that time, sir?
Yes, it's somebody that's living there.
It's registered for 2018?
Yeah.
Have you had any problems at this property?
No. He purchased it as a foreclosure. There wasn't anyone prior for about a year or two.
Because I know you own other properties in Hammond.
Yes, yes.
So you know you were supposed to register.
Yeah, but I have other properties that I am mistaken for this one. Yeah, it was the end of the year, and I don't know, things got.
I'm going to make a recommendation to waive the fee, but that is something I feel like you should
Yes.
know going forward.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, thank you.
I concur. Rental registration hearing on property located at 7228 Missouri.
Okay, we're requesting that no action be taken here. Upon research, we saw that this property was registered in 2012 by Ms. Carrillo. Are you Ms. Carrillo?
Yes.
Okay. They have on file that they lived at 941 Michigan, which our notes indicate. At that time, from 2012 to 2017, they sold 941 Michigan and moved back into 7228 Missouri, which is why we're here. And currently now live in Valparaiso.
Yes.
And they did register for 18. So we have no issues here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, make a recommendation to waive the fee.
And I concur. Rental registration hearing on property located at 4422 Torrance Avenue.
Ms. Cosleon?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
We have this as one unit, last registered in 2013. It appears that they owe for 2014 through 2017. Water was shut off in late of 2017 for non-payment, and it is not collecting a homestead.
Yes, sir, we did. I registered in 2013 because I was planning on renting it. It didn't go very well, so I got some relatives to come into the house to live there. I even have a letter stating from them. I'm helping them out to rent that, well, not to rent, to live in the house while they become economically stable. I didn't know that if I wasn't collecting rent, I was supposed to be paying. That I didn't know. If the house is occupied, I still have to pay the city to have someone live in it.
As Kelly stated before, it's for our personal record. Okay? So that way first responders know who's in there, who's living there in case there's a fire, in case there's action needs to be taken by the police.
First time I see it, okay, fine.
Are there issues with the property at all, Jaime?
No.
Any proof anybody else lived there other than her relative?
No other proof.
Okay. I'll make a recommendation to waive the late fees for those years. Ma'am, going forward, you're very aware of the rules now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And I concur.
Okay, thank you.
Rental registration hearing on property located at 4226 Wabash Avenue and 4321 Baltimore Avenue.
We'll take the first one, 4226 Wabash. Owner, Mr. Sandoval?
Ramirez, yeah.
Ramirez, okay. Owes for 2016 and 2017. This is one unit. We've had problems here before as far as compliance. We have issues that have been going through the court system. But also in 2013, the Board of Works decided to waive late fees for registration for them for 2012 and 2013. So this is nothing new to them. So we're requesting at least one fine of $500 plus registering for 2016 and 2017.
Sir?
It was just an oversight. Yeah, I'll take the fine for the 500.
How many years there's 2 years in question,
There's 2 years.
16 and 17?
Right.
Mr. Mayor is also here for item U. The defense did get a contractor to repair the garage and take care of that. There were some problem tenants which he did evict. So yeah, but one late fee repair. He's working on getting the rest of the property up, and then hopefully he's going to put it on the market, as I understand. But he has addressed the main issue with the garage being on order to repair demolish.
Is it one unit?
Correct. That's for 4226
Right,
Water.
right.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation that late fees be charged for 2016. We'll waive 2017. And then going forward,
Yep.
you should have known already based on the 2013.
And I concur.
Thank you.
The next one's 4329 Baltimore. You own this one as well?
Yes.
Okay. Owes for 2016 and 2017, not collecting a homestead. He's owned the home since 2014. Up to you guys, if you'd like to.
Same 2 years, 2016, 17.
Same 2 years. And he's known he's had to register rental properties.
I'm going to make the same recommendation. Late fees be charged for 2016, waive 2017.
And I concur.
Okay.
Thank you. Correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings. June 21st.
Okay. Just recommend.
Yeah.
I recommend that we set those for June 21st.
And I concur. T, license agreement renewal with Code 48 LLC and its representative Liacon Inc. to conduct environmental monitoring at 6821-23 Grand Avenue.
This is just our standard environmental agreement that they sample for groundwater contamination. We do this for all of those similar types of businesses.
Okay. I recommend to accept the license agreement.
And I concur. U, order to rescind orders to demolish property located at 4226 Wabash Avenue, garage only.
I don't know if you recall, this was the property that was on the order to repair demolish hearing where the garage canopy was collapsing and hanging over where the kids' play area was set up. So they've had a contractor come in and completely repair it, and it's passed inspection, and I would ask you to please sign the rescind of the orders so that we can record it.
Okay. I'll make a recommendation to accept the order to rescind.
And I concur. Contract for demolition services with RSR LLC for 6501-05 Calumet Avenue at a cost of $18,256.44. Do I have a recommendation approving the contract?
I recommend that we approve the contract.
And I concur. Emergency demolition award received from Chief of Inspections, Mr. Kelly Kearney, to JM Industrial Services, Inc. for the demolition of 5251-53 Holman Avenue at a cost of $86,800. Do I have a recommendation approving Mr. Kearney's recommendation?
I make a recommendation to approve his recommendation.
And I approve. And I concur.
Excuse me, Mr. President?
Yes.
President, is that investigation over with?
Yes. Yes. Correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Anthony Higgs requesting $500,000 of gaming funds be allocated for park improvements. This is an agreement signed by the mayor as well as the councilman as well as the parks administrator.
Okay, make a recommendation to approve Councilman Haig's request.
And I concur. Y, correspondence received from Mr. Gary Gleason, Director of Public Works, advising of the placement of no parking signs on the Indiana side of State Line Avenue at Wildwood Road for a 90-day trial period. Do we need to take action, Chris, on this?
No, just approve it for the 90-day trial, and if it passes, we will wind up doing an ordinance.
Okay, I make a recommendation to approve it, sorry.
And I concur.
Yeah, perfect, Ben.
Let the board reflect that the president of the board, Mrs. Garay, is in attendance. Z, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Make a recommendation to approve the permits.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, matters from other board members.
I have one matter, and we have two today. Do we have the one from the school?
You did give it to me. Oh, this one right here.
We have two matters from other board members this morning. The first one is from Fire Chief Jeff Smith on a disciplinary matter. I'll make a recommendation to approve the chief's recommendations.
I second. Or, excuse me, I make a
I'm
recommendation.
sorry,
Yeah. Give me a second.
I concur.
Okay, I concur.
Mr. Margraf is abstaining from that vote.
And the second matter is from Dr. Egan, the principal at the Hammond Academy of Science and Technology, and they are requesting to post picture displays on the light poles in downtown Hammond to honor the senior students involved in seasonal sports and academic clubs. I will make a motion to refer this to the street department for review and recommendation.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Matters from other department head, is that all? Matters from other board members? Matters from other department heads or their representatives? New business? Old business? Meetings open to the public?
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
My name is George Howard. I've been here twice previously about a property on 936 Conkey Street. The last time I was here, I went before the board to let them know that I perfected title on December 1st of 2017. In February 22nd, I was told that I need to apply for the building permit, City of Hammond for an inspection. I did go ahead and do that. Consequently, I was told that the county had not recorded the perfection of the deed. So the property was not yet in my name, even though I paid the taxes and the judge had already granted it. As a result, I did not proceed anymore until, as told, that they could not do anything until my name was on title. I did receive a phone call from the department. I'd let them know that I would be out of town because they wanted to come out and inspect the property, although I didn't know how because my name wasn't still on title, but they wanted to come out and inspect the property, excuse me. I let them know I would be out of town. They asked me, could I have somebody else meet them there? And I said I wasn't sure. As a result, I received this letter, still paid the $150 fee for the inspection. I received this letter from them saying that they were going to continue with the demolition of the property, also terminate the NIPSCO and the IDEM inspections, and that they would go ahead and just move on with the demolition of the property. Again, I'm just trying to go through the process. You guys asked me to wait until I'm sorry. As a result of the letter, I went out to the county in Lake County, spoke to the tax assessment office, or the tax sale department. They did email who they knew, somebody by the name of Kevin Smith. I don't know who that is, but it says George Howard Jr. brought key number, which is the parcel number, at 936 Concrete Street. He received a demo. His deed is in process. Please hold off until he has the deed. Did not receive any correspondence from the city of Hammond. And today I do possess deed to the property, and so I would like to continue with the inspection if that's okay.
If you'll recall, this was a property that we ordered demolished last year in 2017. We have repeatedly told Mr. Howard that the process moves forward until he obtains an inspection, enters a rehab agreement. As of the day, he had an appointment scheduled with Kurt Cook for something in April. I don't recall the exact day. He was a no-call, no-show. Following the no-call, no-show, there was no further calls requesting a change of inspection date, a subsequent inspection, a new inspection. No inspection has taken place. This has been going on since December of last year. At the time that he requested the inspection, his name was not on the property, and this is a property that Councilman Anthony Higgs, every council meeting, complains about, that it's been vacant and unmaintained for a decade. So despite the fact that Mr. Howard keeps coming in and telling the board that he wishes to go forward with this, he's never actually done anything to show us that he wants to go forward with this. So the city is moving forward with the demolition process. We've already requested NIPSCO be terminated. Now we all know it takes NIPSCO 2 to 4 weeks to actually accomplish anything. So perhaps if he were to actually get the inspection that we've been telling him to get since last year, and he actually enters the rehab agreement that we've been telling him to do since last year, maybe that he can start working on the property. But all it's been is a bunch of delay, and here it is, it's May, and when was the demolition order? I know it's in the letter I sent you. And what was the date on that letter? I think that letter was from April. I mean, and here it is, now it's May.
April of what? From last year?
The letter I wrote.
Right, but the deed is marked as April 26th.
Correct, but what was the date of the letter?
That you just sent me?
Yeah, it was like the April 10th. He didn't call and reschedule his inspection. You were just holding it up.
Is that, it was an intentional delay?
Well, I'm just
I was told, and it says in the letter, since we, what? It says in the letter,
which is dated
I'm sorry.
April 17th.
It says in the letter, a rehabilitation agreement has not been signed by you or for the property you failed to appear on your scheduled inspection on April 4th, 2018. You did not call to reschedule. The city of Hammond now considers the rehabilitation effort abandoned, and now we're requesting NIPSCO, blah, yada, yada. I'm trying to look for the area where it says that my name was not on title. Oh, here it is. It says, which is not appearing in the Lake County records. Hammond delayed the scheduled demolition, which allowed you to obtain record, a deed to the property, which is not appearing to the Lake County online records. So consequently, I would believe that the next order of action would to make sure that I would have my name on the title. It's hard for me to come in here and argue anything when my name is not on the title. So I did not come back until I had a title in my hand. It was not a delay tactic. It was actually so I can prove that we now actually own the property. I cannot do anything until I can actually prove that I own the property.
So, sir, you said you've paid for the inspection?
I have paid for
They've
the
tried to schedule the inspection?
I'm sorry?
They tried to schedule the inspection prior to you having the deed in your name? Is that
Correct.
You've had the deed in your name for 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
Have we had an inspection?
No, ma'am.
Scheduled?
No, I came here because I didn't know what the next move.
The demolition order was entered last July. As I said, the 3rd District Councilman keeps complaining, why isn't the city doing anything about this property? So the city needs to move forward. If
Well-
Mr. Howard is serious about this, like I said, we've been delaying. This was entered in July. He said, I'll have it by December. I'll have the deed in December. Come April, he doesn't show up for the appointments that's scheduled, and he still doesn't own it. He owns it at the end of April. He still hasn't scheduled a new inspection, and the building department has more people than just him.
I paid for the inspection. I've done everything that you've asked me to do and everything this office has asked me to do. And I told the gentleman when he called me that I would be out of town. I'm a public speaker as well as a minister. When I leave here tomorrow, I'll be in New York City. And at the end of June, at the end of May, I'll be in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. I have a conference coming up here in June. Like, I'm always on the go. I own several properties, so when they called me, I said, I will not be in town. They asked me, can you have somebody else there? I said, I'm not sure. At that point, I didn't even know that there was an appointment actually set in stone. I didn't get a 4:30, 2:30 at June 1st at 1 o'clock. I didn't receive that. So I didn't even know that there was an appointment even set. And we go back and forth with this all the time. I didn't come in here for any special privileges or only thing I said is, can we proceed with the inspection?
Mr. Howard, the board appreciates that you have a job that takes you out of the city on occasion, but when can you do the inspection?
That's why I'm here. I mean, Mr. Robert, I'm here to set the appointment. That's why I'm here. I'm not asking for anything else other than to proceed with the inspection.
You're not.
Board knows you do not set the inspection date. That is done through Mr. Cook, the building commissioner.
Right.
He's the contact, go downstairs and get Mr. Cook's card. He's way to get hold of his email because he's on the field doing inspections all the time. Set up with Mr. Cook, they'll arrange a time and date as they already have, and the inspection will go forward.
That's all
You meet once a week, but this business isn't in front of the board for the inspection. It was something that we scheduled with the building commissioner.
So again, that's all I was asking for. I came in last time. I showed pictures of the home. They said it's been vacant for 10 years. However, the only outside appearance of the property is that there's a gutter that's hanging off the property, literally. That's the only thing. As a consequence, we said, go ahead and get an inspection so we can see how bad it is. So I went downstairs with him. I paid the $150 fee. It then came back and said, well, Mr. Howard, your name is not on title. I said, well, I have the court records from December 1st, but they said, well, until you actually get a deed, we can't proceed. And so I finally have the deed.
Mr. Cook aware of he's aware of this situation, right?
Yes. And the board knows the process goes forward. It takes too long to get to the point where if you decide not to do anything with the house and then we start the whole process over again, it's timely and
I paid $5,000 for a property at a tax sale. I just got the deed of the property. I'm not going to just throw $5,000. I'm not going to throw $5,000 away.
Let's do that. The house is in your name now. Let's
Correct.
schedule an inspection immediately, and let's go from there.
That's all I asked. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I got a lot of homework here, man. I'm thoroughly confused.
You need me to send it again.